Welcome to The Edge. And for all of you who are subscribing, I hope this is a meaningful moment for you. But today is a particularly meaningful moment. I just got through watching a replay by our technician Alex of Mario Cuomo. No, that's his father. Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York. Mario was the governor preceding Andrew, not quite, but sometime before. But he spoke about something that Trump has done. An individual, a tall 75-year-old man, is trying to talk to police as they're marching, not in a full march, but in a steady walk in Buffalo, New York. This just happened recently. And what happens is one of the police gives a shove to this 6'3", 6'4" older man. He falls completely backwards, like a toppling pole, slammed on the back of his head, and proceeds to start bleeding immediately. As he's fallen, one of the other police, one of the ones who shoved him in the first place, starts to go to help him. And the cop behind him, the police officer behind him, grabs him by the shoulder and restrains him from helping him. So what happens then? He's left to bleed. None of the other cops stop to aid him. These people are not peacemakers. These are violence makers, police that act like this. This is why people don't trust the police. They make up their own rules, and they make the rules as they go along. Now, to make it worse, and it's spelled out in the speech by Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, making up the facts around this man is what our president has done. And Cuomo's proceeded to go out after Trump for what he said about this man. Trump went along and said he was part of Antifa. Just for your facts, folks, what is Antifa? A lot of people don't know what that is. It's called anti-fascist. Who are anti-fascists? People against fascist behavior. Who were the original anti-fascists? Those people that opposed Hitler back in Germany. That's where the name came from. Those who opposed Hitler were killed, sought after, jailed, punished for opposing Hitler, the leader, the Fuhrer. And we got our president calling people anti-fascists, those people who oppose his ideas. So it comes to mind, the people who know history a little bit, that he's actually saying, I'm like Hitler, and I don't want to be opposed, and those who disagree with me are like Antifa. And when you do that, to people who know things, you look ridiculous, Mr. President. You look ridiculous. And Andrew Cuomo is right to call you out on that. Mark Twain says, get your facts first, and you can distort them as you please, which is exactly what this president has done. In the process, he's made himself like the fool. And he makes himself totally in bed with the ideas of Hitler. Whether he meant to or not, that's what that does. And he keeps saying Antifa, like it's some despicable thing. Actually, it's an honorable thing to be opposing fascism. Fascism shows up in different ways. In Charlottesville, the marching people went to Charlottesville with the flames and so forth, 300-400 of them. They said, no Jews, our soil, our blood. No Jews, our soil, our blood. Those are fascists. Those are Nazis. Those are white supremacists. And who opposes those? Antifa. And so what does our president say at that time? He says, well, there are fine people on both sides. I'm sure Hitler didn't say that. There are fine people on both sides. I'm sure Hitler knew what his enemies were, anybody who spoke against him. Anybody and anyone. So the ball game's being played about how many stories can you make up and how much truth matters anymore. When a president doesn't know the difference between someone opposing fascism and someone opposing him. And if you're going to say that anyone who opposes him is a fascist, therefore is a fascist and or anti-fascist, and that anti-fascism is a bad thing, fascism is not a good thing. And they're against fascism. So without confusing you more and confusing myself more, distorting the facts makes for this kind of confusion. And Trump looks like someone who's a fascist. He's opposing those who are anti-fascists. And this old man is in the hospital now, had a concussion or light concussion, and was in serious condition for a while. But this man got labeled this way. He wasn't black. He just didn't agree with what the police were doing, and he tried to talk to them. He didn't restrain them. He just tried to talk to them, reason with them, and they shoved him on his back. He's about 6'3". He went down like a pole, and he's in the hospital at this moment. So Cuomo is right to speak out against the confusion this leaderless society we have gotten to be. Trump is showing that he has no leadership. He may have followership, but he has no leadership. He takes us anywhere he feels like, says anything he wants, anytime he wants, any way he wants, his way or nothing, his way or the highway. This is, frankly, idiotic. And those who follow idiots look the same way to people who are smart enough to recognize an idiot. And unfortunately, some people just aren't. If you had faith in Trump before, you have to question it now. You really can't trust this lying nonsense that he does all the time, and then changing the story to suit the circumstances. So this is what you got. Andrew Cuomo is a leader. He's a guy that led a lot of people with confidence through the coronavirus, talking about what's really happening. This is a true leader. This is the guy that the Democrats would nominate in a heartbeat if something happens to Biden. This is where the real leadership in this country is. It's about this country. It's not about party. It's about you and me and everybody becoming a true American, not dividing America against itself. Divided we fall. That's what Lincoln said, and the Republican Party has decided that Trump is more important than Lincoln and the heritage of a truly great man when America was great again. The very thing that Trump does. He will say, he goes so far as to say he's greater than Lincoln. Good Lord. He built the Transcontinental Railroad, that's Lincoln. He won the Civil War, that's Lincoln. Tell me what's greater than that. Certainly nothing that Trump has done matches anything close to something like that. This is lunacy. And unfortunately, I think the lack of credibility falls on the head of those who follow the Trumpers. I want to thank you for your time. I don't feel strongly about very many things, but I feel strongly about this. And I hope you can tolerate and be patient with me and listen to what I've had to say. And listen to what Governor Cuomo said. Watch the man, Mr. Geoghegan, who got pushed over by the police. Don't take my word. This is what he did. And this is what Trump called him. And look it up. Google the word Antifa. And what is fascism. If you look at those things, you'll know yourself what they really mean, not what the so-called leader with the red hair says it is, from moment to moment. Thank you very much. Subscribe to us if you find it interesting. Please listen and watch. I want to thank you for your time. And good night.